It's 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. On the left, we have Mark. Mark just realized he's missing $400 he thought he had. He's mentally retracing every coffee, every subscription, and every small Amazon purchase from the last 3 days. His heart rate is up. He won't sleep well tonight. On the right is me. I haven't checked my bank balance in 3 weeks. Not because I'm rich, but because I've turned my finances into a ghost system. One of these men is on track to save $10,000 by Christmas. The other is wondering if he can afford lunch tomorrow. They make the exact same salary. They live in the same city. So why are their lives completely different? The answer isn't about willpower. It isn't about grinding harder. It starts with a single invisible decision made at 9 a.m. on payday. I stopped looking at my bank account for 3 months, and my savings grew by $3,000. Most people think budgeting is a math problem. It's not. It's a nervous system problem. And today, I'm going to show you how to build the invisible budget that saves money while you sleep. My name is Adam, and the moment I stopped believing that rich people just worked harder than everyone else, my entire financial life changed. Look, we've been lied to. We've been told that if you can't save, you're lazy or irresponsible. But here's the thing. They don't work harder. They think differently. And that difference lives in 2 brain modes that most people don't even know exist. See, for years, I lived in financial survival mode. I'd get a paycheck, feel a rush of dopamine, spend it until the balance got scary, and then restrict myself until the next payday. It was a cycle of feast and famine that drained my mental energy before I even got to work. But then I discovered the invisible budget. It's a system where the money moves before you can even touch it. In 2026, manual budgeting is dead. If you're still tracking pennies in a spreadsheet, you're fighting a losing war against your own biology. Today, we're going to wire your brain and your bank for wealth. It's Friday morning. The direct deposit notification hits both phones simultaneously. Mark sees the notification, $3,200 deposited. He feels a physical click in his brain. The stress of the last week vanishes. He thinks, I'm good. I've got plenty. He stops at the high-end coffee shop on the way to work. He orders the $8 seasonal latte and a breakfast sandwich. Why not? He's got the money. He feels powerful. I see the same notification, but here's the difference. I don't do anything. I don't have to, because at 9:01 a.m., my invisible system triggers. Mark is operating on active intent. He thinks he has to choose the future over the present. But human beings are terrible at choosing the future over the present. His brain sees that deposit as available resources for today. My system operates on passive architecture. Before I even finish my first glass of water, $600 has already vanished. It didn't go to a bill, it was split at the source. $300 went to a high-yield peace of mind fund, $200 went into an automated index fund wealth agent, and $100 went into a sinking fund for my next vacation. To my brain, I didn't get paid $3,200. I got paid $2,600. The $600 never existed in my spending world. It's invisible. Mark is trying to save what's left at the end of the month. I'm spending what's left after my future self has already been paid. Look, it sounds simple, right? Pay yourself first. But in 2026, we don't just try to do that. We use split deposit protocols. Most payroll systems now let you send your check to up to 5 different accounts. Mark sends 100% to his checking. I send 80% to checking and 20% to the void. If you never see it, you never miss it. That's the first rule of the invisible budget. It's 1:30 p.m., the office. Both men are invited to a group lunch at an expensive sushi spot. Mark thinks about his bank balance, still over $3,000. He's barely touched it. Yeah, I'm in, he says. During lunch, someone mentions a new gadget. Mark's dopamine is still high from the morning deposit. He thinks, I've been working hard. I deserve a win. He orders the chef's special and spends $60. He's already planning to buy that gadget tonight. I'm at the same lunch, but I don't look at my main balance. I check my guilt-free bucket, an AI-monitored sub-account that tells me exactly how much fun money I have for the week. The AI tells me I have $45 left for dining out. I ordered the regular roll and a green tea, $22. Here's where the psychology gets deep. Mark is experiencing decision fatigue. Every time he spends, he's making a manual calculation. Can I afford this? Because his big balance is all in one pile, the answer is always yes, but every yes drains his willpower. By 2 p.m., Mark is mentally exhausted from managing his money. Meanwhile, I have zero financial load. My decisions are pre-made. I'm not budgeting at lunch, I'm just following the guardrails my system set up for me at 9:01 a.m. The ripple effect continues. At 3 p.m., an automated AI sweep app on my phone notices I have an extra $14 in my checking account that isn't designated for bills. It quietly steals that $14 and moves it into my brokerage account. It's a roundup on steroids. It's like a digital vacuum cleaner that sucks up the dust of my finances and turns it into gold. Mark's dust stays in his account, and because it's there, he'll spend it on a vending machine snack or a digital upgrade he doesn't need. The difference isn't the $14, it's the momentum. Mark is leaking energy. I'm accumulating it. 7 p.m., home. Mark opens the mail. There's a utility bill. It's $150, higher than usual because of the heat. He feels a sharp pang in his stomach. He just spent $60 on sushi. He remembers the $8 coffee. Suddenly, that balance doesn't feel so big. He feels trapped. He closes his banking app. I'll deal with it on Monday, he mutters. He's now in avoidance mode. I get the same bill notification, but my system already moved that money into my bill vault weeks ago. The payment is scheduled. I don't even have to click send. I feel nothing. And that nothing is the ultimate luxury. This is the moment where the invisible budget pays its biggest dividend, mental real estate. Mark is using 30% of his brain power just to manage the anxiety of existing. He's reactive. When the bill comes, he's stressed. When a friend asks to go out, he's hesitant. He's living in a constant state of financial low-grade fever. I've reclaimed that 30%. Because my money is automated, my brain is free to think about my career, my health, or just enjoying my dinner. Look, Mark thinks he's free because he doesn't have a strict budget, but he's actually a slave to his bank balance. I'm the one who's free because I've built a cage for my money so it can't run away. By the end of the day, Mark has spent $200 in actual cash and $2,000 in mental calories. I've spent $40 and haven't thought about money once. The gap is widening, and they don't even know it yet. Let's talk about why this happens. Your brain has a survival circuit. When you see a large sum of money, your primitive brain thinks stockpile resources, consume now, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Survival mode is reactive. It's driven by the amygdala. This is Mark. Every time he checks his balance, he triggers a mini stress response. If the number is high, he gets a dopamine hit. If the number is low, he gets a cortisol hit. He's a hamster on a wheel, chasing the dopamine and running from the cortisol. Wealth building node, however, is driven by the prefrontal cortex. It's system-driven. It understands that the greatest threat to your wealth isn't the stock market, it's you. The invisible budget works because it bypasses the amygdala entirely. By the time your primitive brain wakes up and wants to spend, the resources are already gone. You've successfully tricked yourself. Here is the golden rule of 2026 finance. If you have to use willpower to save, you've already lost. Willpower is a finite resource. It's like a phone battery. At 9 a.m., Mark has 100% willpower. He can say no to the coffee. But by 5 p.m., after a long day of work and decisions, his battery is at 10%. That's when the add to cart button becomes irresistible. The invisible budget doesn't use your battery. It runs on the grid. It's a set-it-and-forget-it infrastructure that turns saving from an active struggle into a passive background process. Let's look at the invisible math. Mark and I both earn $65,000 a year. Mark tries to save. Some months he puts away $500. Some months, like December or vacation months, he saves zero. Because of lifestyle creep and small leaks, his average savings rate is 3%. After 12 months, Mark has $1,950 in his savings account. He feels okay, but one car repair will wipe that out. Now look at my line. My invisible system takes 15% off the top, every single paycheck. $300 per paycheck to high-yield savings equals $7,800 a year. $100 per paycheck to AI sweep roundups equals $2,600 a year. That's over $10,000 in 1 year. But it gets crazier. Because my money is moved automatically into an automated brokerage account, that money is compounding at 8% while I'm watching Netflix. Over 5 years, Mark has $10,000 if he's lucky and doesn't spend it. I have $64,000. Same salary, same job, same city. The lost opportunity for Mark isn't just the money, it's the compound calm. Because I have $64,000 in the bank, I'm not afraid of my boss. I'm not afraid of a recession. I have option value. Mark is one bad Friday away from a panic attack. I'm one bad Friday away from a sabbatical. That is the price of manual budgeting. It's not just $10,000, it's your freedom. Look, here's the truth. The world is designed to make you a mark. Every app, every buy now, pay later button, every targeted ad is a predator designed to hunt your active intent. If you try to fight them with willpower, you will lose. You're bringing a knife to a drone fight. You need to build your own defense drone. You need the invisible budget. Don't be a Mark. Mark is exhausted. Mark is stressed. Mark is standing still while the world moves forward. Be an atom. Your homework today is simple. Don't go download a budgeting app. Don't make a spreadsheet. Do one thing. Log into your payroll portal or your banking app and set up a split deposit. Even if it's just $50, send it to an account you don't have a debit card for. Make it invisible. Start with that one financial domino today. Let the system do the work while you go live your life. Because the goal isn't to be good at budgeting. The goal is to never have to budget again. For now, I recommend this video for you. Go see it next and I'll meet you there.